Nkabinde, can we look at your statement on paragraph 25? 25, it's on page 12. I'm taking the initial statement, not the supplementary one, whereby you indicate that your findings show that the hawks were being used for political things interfering on the matter. That's your findings. Can you share with this ad hoc committee your findings that led to the conclusion that you had about the hawks having to interfere with your findings?
The hawks never interfered with my findings, but during my investigation and those several interviews, were that reopening of a case which was declined 5 years ago. What was the valid reason? So that what I got, that it's a political interference. That was a pressure from externally. But the political interference, that's what I gathered. To the hawks, yes. I paid through my report. This was our recommendations that if indeed there are reasonable reasons to reopen a case, these are the legal steps you need to follow. It was outlined in the report, so that they are not reopening it based on any pressure from outside. There is nothing wrong to reopen a case, but just follow the law.
Okay. On paragraph 28, that is again on page 12, you indicate that you had a misunderstanding with the executive director based on the report that you filed with the former minister, Bekicel, which was leaked to Mr. McBride. That is in 2018. What did this report relate to?
The report relates to a several number of unethical conducts against the then executive director, Robert McBride, in colluding with Mr. Paul O'Sullivan. In fact, I was reporting, I'm working with them, and I'm reporting what is happening. Then if I go to details, I will have to look at it.
And did that cause you to leave your work?
Yes, because McBride was so angry that I reported him.
You're afraid of him?
No, he suspended me. He placed me on suspension.
He placed you on suspension.
Yes.
And there were charges that were instituted against you.
Yes.
And then you felt being victimized. Is that so?
That's correct.
Then again, you are saying that on paragraph 29, on the day of the disciplinary hearing, you were offered a settlement agreement and you accepted that. Why did you accept that instead of correcting that dirtiness that was happening? Because if you're saying that there was a report that you produced and that showed many dirty things, why did you have to take a settlement that was offered?
This was the option available to me since I did not enjoy any protection. Like for instance, when I was suspended, the reasons for my suspension and the reason of why I have to be disciplined was about the report that I did, of which for me, it was in contravention with the Protected Disclosure Act. Then I reported almost everywhere that I reported unethical conduct. Now I'm being victimized and I'm going to be dismissed. I reported it to the public protector. I reported it to the portfolio committee on police. I reported it to the minister again, the very same minister whom I gave the report. Then I say, now the report that I gave you, I'm now suspended. I'm now subjected to victimization. What the then former minister did, he wrote a letter. I do have that letter. He wrote a letter to McBride that he must stop the imminent suspension of Cedric Nkabinde. The matter now is in his table, of which he disregarded the former minister as well. He proceeded with the discipline. I got a response from a public protector. They wrote to him and copied me that Mr. Nkabinde lodged a complaint of occupational detriment, that now he reported these things, now you are suspending him. We request you to put that disciplinary in abeyance until we finalize investigation. He also disregarded that. He proceeded. Then I wrote to the portfolio committee on police. Then the portfolio committee on police responded to me that they are an oversight body, they can't get into those labor issues. So I was left like that. Now you are facing a disciplinary of which you already know it's a concocted trump-up charges against you. And you sure you are going to be dismissed, whether you're right or wrong. And then this is an offer.
What is that offer?
This is now an offer. During the disciplinary hearing, before we even commence with the disciplinary hearing, McBride arrived in that venue. He came and stopped the hearing and proposed the settlement agreement. That
how much? He gave you how much?
No. The offer was that we are going to withdraw all charges against you. We are going to withdraw. We're going to stop all this thing. You must resign. Let us part ways. So that was an offer. Then I must also withdraw all my occupational detriment complaints. I think they were all over, my complaints.
The offer was one-sided. You must resign.
Yes,
and then in turn of your resignation,
we withdraw against you. Then
meaning that it's you who was wrong then, who was on the wrong side of the law, if they are saying that. Because if you're saying that the report, it had an impact to McBride, but now their settlement offer, it's saying that you must resign, then they're going to drop everything. Why? Can't you see that it was one-sided and you'll be seen as a person who was wrong?
It's not one-sided because the settlement agreement has nothing to do with the report.
Uyanisitha ke ngoku.
The settlement agreement had nothing to do with the report. The only things that I had to withdraw is those occupational detriment victimization complaints that I'm now suspended. So, but my report, even today, my report stands.
So you knew that going to the disciplinary hearing, you'll be dismissed.
I know, because this is their chairperson. I knew I was going to be dismissed. But now to allow me to resign and you withdraw cases, I can still find another job.
And indeed, your report was used.
Yes.
The moment you were gone, it was used against McBride.
Yes.
Not renewing the contract. Are you saying that? Is this what you are saying? That the former minister, Bekicele, used the report that you had with your findings against McBride. It was used, not his contract being renewed.
Yes, it was used. I was already left by then, but it was used.
Okay. Then on paragraph 33, page 13, you are outlining the circumstances surrounding you and Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi visiting the minister at Mpangeni, Minister Mchunu. You are saying that you were requested by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi to go to visit the minister at Mpangeni. And yet, when Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi was here, he told this ad hoc committee that it is you who requested him to accompany to the minister's homestead. What are you saying about that?
Chair, I never said General Mkhwanazi, he requested me to go and see Minister Mkhunu. I never said that. What I said, General Mkhwanazi requested me to accompany him to Mpangeni area. Then once we were there, then I suggested that we go past the minister because it's the same location. I took him to the minister.
You are saying that you were going to Mpangeni, not to the minister's homestead.
Yes, we were going there for our things.
Hence, you said on that day, it was a boys out.
That's it.
Outing.
Yes, then I remember that we are in the same area as the minister, and it's been a while, I never saw him. Then I said, let's pass the minister.
So he's correct then to say that it's you who said you and himself must go to the minister's house.
That's correct.
So he's correct.
Yes, it's correct.
Because on that day, on the first appearance of yourself here, it's a pity that we cannot play the recordings of that day. You said it is Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, unless my hearing was not correct on that day. who said you must go to the minister.
I know, I never said like that. We were going, yes, we were going for our things. Then I'm the one said, it's been a while, let's go and pass.
I thought you even said it's you, it's Lieutenant General Mkwanazu who came to you with the car, you were driving. I thought we were dramatizing that to show that indeed it was Lieutenant General Mkwanazi who said to you, must go to there. When we are dramatizing, because you are dramatizing that on that day. Today, at least, you are not dramatizing issues. I'm happy about that. Can I say that? I'm happy about it. That's why I'm saying that it's, you were consistent to say it is Lieutenant General Mkwanazi, but anyway, at the end, you are saying that whilst you were doing what you were doing at Mpangeni, then you went go via Minister Mchunu. So what did you go? Just greetings, nothing else?
No, nothing else. We just spoke about general things. There was nothing to discuss about.
Even Lieutenant General Mkwanazi didn't find a space to say, Minister, can we discuss other issues? Because I know the pain and the thorn on the flesh with Lieutenant General Mkwanazi, it was the issue of the PKTT. He didn't say anything on that day about PKTT.
I know, not really. Remember, the minister was a minister of water. They never been spoke about.
Then he was the minister of
never been spoke about.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
Thank you. He was the, but you wanted to introduce Lieutenant General Mkwanazi of some sort to your friend. Because now Minister Mchunu was your friend.
No, he's never been my friend.
Oh, Kalu. On page, what is this page? On page, it's paragraph 26. Paragraph 26, yeah. Page 12. Whereby, let me look at it. Page 12. Yeah, paragraph 26. You are saying that in another meeting, you exchange phone numbers. That's good. But now in paragraph 26, you are saying that Minister Mchunu and I continued to have a relationship after that investigation, which over the year developed.
It does not make us friends.
Oh, because to me, by saying that, I'm saying that it developed to the extent that you became the chief of staff in the office of the minister. It is because of that relationship that developed after you have exchanged phone numbers in one of the paragraphs and the report, Wara But in 26, in your statement written by you, that relationship developed. When you say that a relationship developed, didn't it move to another level?
No, it does not make us friends.
If I may.
You want to say it developed without blossoming?
Because if you and the chief whip, your relationship develop, it goes, you become friends. I assume. Because if Mdu was a girl, it will develop to another level. So I'm looking at this one with the minister. It developed that the minister saw a chief of staff in you. Do you agree with me on that?
No, I can't agree. It has never developed to be friends.
It developed to be what? Because it's you have written, you left it hanging. That's why you are having conclusion.
No, it's never developed being friends. But now and again, we will then contact each other. Especially me, I will contact him.
You are saying that the directive of the 31st December, 31st December, you know, when people are very much happy, we're busy in the office. And we're writing that directive. A directive maybe that has caused us to be having an ad hoc committee and a commission. And now, I just want to check. You were saying that the contents of that directive, they were written by you?
The content of
the directive
No.
of the 31st, that letter?
It was written by the minister.
They were written by the minister.
Yes.
Hence, you had again to send to the minister's private thing. You thought the minister didn't have that correspondence in that directive in his.
No, I copied him so that whatever response he will also receive. Because when a person responds to the trail email, he will also see.
You know, yesterday we had a lady here, Lady Mary de Haas. Lady Mary de Haas wrote a correspondence to the minister on the 31st October with the instruction to the minister to disband the PKTT immediately. Wara is saying all that. And the correspondence of the minister, they're having the exact words of the letter written by Mary de Haas. Is that a coincidence?
I never checked the content of Mary de Haas.
But the letters of the minister, they also come to you.
Of Mary de Haas, I never received a Mary de Haas letter. Maybe I was not the
Or
officer.
the minister, that one, he had hidden it from you. Because Mary de Haas wrote to the minister to immediately disband the PKTT.
No, I never saw
But
that correspondence.
the words that are on the letter of Mary de Haas, those are the same words that are contained in the directive.
No, I never saw it. I can't comment.
That's why I'm telling you, it is because you didn't see it.
No, I never
Hence, it becomes a worry to us that someone who's not within the minister's office or working with subs, but to instruct the minister to disband the PKTT, it's worrisome. Thank you, Chair.
Five minutes. No, the next speaker is Honorable Cameron. No. You ended at your own volition. So can we move to Honorable Cameron? Honorable Cameron, your time starts now. It ends at 20 past 5.
Chair.
Let's move with speed and save time.
Can I start, Chair? Thank you, Chair. Mr. Nkabinde.
Yes.
I'm going to start with the McBride issue. A few thoughts. I was going to leave it for later, but I want to touch on this just because the previous honorable member asked it. While serving on the National Task Team for Special Investigations, were you ever approached by members of crime intelligence?
Not at all.
Were you ever offered any kind of a promotion at that stage, favor or benefit for making statements or affidavits against Mr. McBride?
Not at all.
Because that, the reason I'm asking it is that is the loose thread that's hanging around this thing. I'll come back to it now, but why do because interesting, after last week's blunder with the testimony, a lot of messages that we got said that several crime intelligence officers placed you at the center of this whole McBride campaign that was being run at that stage. Would you comment on that?
No, there was no such thing.
You produced a very damning report against Robert McBride. Do you still stand by that report?
Yes, I do.
But the Public Service Commission found that your allegations were entirely baseless. So if the PSC, do you see them as being part of some kind of a conspiracy, or was your report an attempt to smear an effective investigation?
My report has never referred to PSC.
But the PSC found it entirely baseless.
So they can't find that and don't give me a report as a complainant. It's the first time I hear it from you, honorable member.
Okay, I'll come back to it again. I want to ask in terms of IPID's charges against you. IPID charged you in failing to disclose the crime intelligence approach, apparently. Do you accept that there was a charge against you with IPID, from IPID?
Yeah, not that one. Not the one that you are referring to. I was not charged for that.
So what was the charge then?
The charge was me writing a report, and then in one line there, they are saying I put the department into disrepute by giving out false allegation against the senior managers.
And then IPID allegedly also charged you with obstructing investigations regarding a 45 million rand iView cell phone grabber case. Do you concede to that?
No, I was part of investigation there.
Were you part of the investigation?
Yeah, that can't be me investigated.
No, I understand that, but the
it has never done.
Information that we got was that they complained about you.
Information.
It's interesting. Why did you rather sought settlement instead of clearing your name?
I could not clear my name because there was the only option I had now when Mr. McBride is offering me the settlement.
But you approached them for the settlement.
No, he approached me for the settlement.
Not according to the statements that we saw. Jay, there's something very wrong here.
Statement from who?
From Robert McBride himself at that stage. The statement from back then.
No, that's not true. I don't have that statement.
Well, you would have seen it because
no,
you were a respondent in it.
I never saw it.
Well, I'm sure we can share it.
I don't know where he wrote that statement to who.
I'll share it with you. But Chair, maybe it's an option to invite Mr. McBride himself to then come and explain that, because according to his statement, you approached him for settlement and it wasn't the other way around. In fact, you approached Mr. McBride to resign, and then you instructed your lawyers to negotiate a settlement. The reasonable inference is that you then avoided a public process because it would expose your dealings with crime intelligence. Is that correct?
No, that's no such things. If there was such a thing, Mr. McBride will not agree to that. He will never. I know him. He will never if there was something like that.
So he wouldn't agree if you approached him for a settlement?
Yes, if it's based on those reasons, he would not agree.
But if you approached him and conceded that you had made a mistake and you said that you don't want to fight any further, would he concede? Would he agree to a settlement?
That will be then up to him.
The reason I don't understand this, Mr. Nkabinde, respectfully, there's a saying that says, strip a man of money or position and he can rebuild. Strip a man of his name and he has nothing. surely with something like this, if someone questions your integrity to this point, you would do everything to clear your name. If it meant to go to court, do whatever you need to do, but simply conceding and moving on without actively clearing your name, don't you think that casts significant doubt on you?
No, it will cause a doubt on McBride as an executive director. Instead of dealing with a serious misconduct and decided to circle with a junior member.
It's very interesting. Mr. Nkabinde, I'm surprised that you haven't seen the McBride statement, Chair. I think that's something that we should consider and calling Mr. McBride, because I think it would give a lot of foundational information regarding Mr. Nkabinde in this process. In terms of your contradictions of the Mpangeni meeting and your appointment, Mr. Nkabinde, you describe yourself as a straightforward public servant, correct?
That's correct.
Let us test that. General Mkhwanazi testified under oath that you brokered the Mpangeni meeting with Minister Mchunu. You say he did. So both cannot be true. Did you broker it, or did General Mkhwanazi broker it? Who's lying?
What do you mean broke for it?
Organized it, arranged it, planned it, scheduled it.
No one, both of us, planned it or arranged it. While we were there in the area, I'm the one who suggested that let us go past Minister Mchunu.
So you arranged it?
Yes, so General Mkhwanazi is correct if he's saying, well, while we're there, I took him to Minister Mchunu. He is right.
According to me, though, you said that he was the one that arranged it.
Not Minister Mchunu, because he's never known, they never know each other.
Not Minister Mchunu, General Mkhwanazi. You said that General Mkhwanazi was the one that arranged it. Never mind, we'll go on to the next one. I'll come back to it. You also testified that the minister had no list and that you were the only candidate for the chief of staff position in the minister's office. The minister testified that he interviewed multiple candidates. So again, who's telling the truth, you or the minister? Was there a list or was there not a list?
Minister can't interview anyone. He can't get involved in those processes.
So the minister doesn't get involved in any form of process regarding his own chief of staff?
No, he can't. The only involvement is to nominate. Then he leave everything to HR.
So can you explain the process that led to your appointment as the chief of staff to the Minister of Police?
The minister nominated me. Then the HR started the process whereby I was requested to write assessments, which it was 3 assessments. I also requested for my pre-screening fingerprints to check if I have any criminal records. Then they check they check my qualifications with SACA. They check my experience. Then they check the suitability. Then they recommended me.
And the minister testified that he interviewed multiple candidates. It's interesting that you say he's got nothing, that he's not part of the process at all. And you indicate you were the only one on the list.
For chief of staff, yes, but in different areas of positions, it was multiple people.
And on what basis do you think you were selected for the senior role? What assurances can you provide us that you operate independently? And we asked this to almost everyone. We asked it yesterday to Mr. Haas as well. How can you assure us that you're not being used to advance the agendas of others within or outside SAPS?
No, I got this position on merits. I do qualify in all ends with my experience and my qualifications, and I'm suitable for the job.
But I'm concerned, Mr. Nkabinde, and again, respectfully, General Mkhwanazi testified that you contacted him to ask him what the role of Chief of Staff entails. Did you?
No, I contacted...
So is he lying under oath?
I contacted General Mkhwanazi to inform him about the offer.
So he's lying?
I could not even ask him because he has never been a Chief of Staff himself. I could not ask him.
Well, he testified before this house that you contacted him to ask about what the role of a chief of staff entails?
No, that's not correct.
Okay, so you say that General Nkabinde lied to us.
Yes.
Can you clarify whether you now fully understand the responsibilities and the scope of your role?
Yes, I do.
What steps have you taken since your appointment to ensure clarity on your duties? Have you done anything additional? Have you gone for a course? Have you learned anything? Have you spoken to other chiefs of staff? What have you done to ensure that you know what you're doing?
We are having regular meeting with all other chief of staff.
So you've been reported and you said it to us today that you schedule meetings for the minister, correct?
That's correct.
Can you explain why this task is performed by you personally? Is this not ordinarily the function of the minister's personal assistant or admin support staff? The reason I ask this is, how do you determine which engagements fall within your mandate versus that of other administrative staff?
With the schedule and calendar of the minister, we are meeting every week, and the PA, he knows which activities the minister will do, and my responsibility is to facilitate and communicate with other stakeholders. If it's going out now to coordinate, it's going through me, not the PA.
Then, may I ask, have you ever declined or questioned or challenged a request from the minister that you believe to be inappropriate, irregular, unethical, or unlawful?
No, I never come across with such an activity.
If not, then how do you ensure that you are not simply complying to every instruction? In other words, how do you guard against becoming a yes man in a role that requires independent judgment and advisory responsibility?
If at one stage I come across with such, I will engage the minister and advise him. I won't just simply do wrong thing. I will advise him.
And can you provide an example where you exercised some kind of independent judgment that differed from the minister's proposal or position?
Like even when we were busy with his diary, he will be now pushing for a certain meeting, but I can also use my overall leadership that as priorities, Minister, can we shift this one and put this one? Because I need to prioritize, because at the end of the day, I'm the overall supervisor in the office. I must make sure that we do prioritize, irrespective that minister wants this, minister wants that, minister wants that.
See, this is why I'm concerned, Mr. Nkabinde, is because that job, exactly what you just said, that's in the job description of the secretary. That's not the job description of the chief of staff. I have the benchmark for the chief of staff here in front of me, and it's certainly not that. I want to ask you about your relationship, the closeness of your relationships with both Minister Nkunu and Lieutenant General Nkabinde. Can you elaborate on the nature of these relationships? We can start with General Nkabinde. Last time you spoke about boys' weekends where your wives shouldn't know what you do. But let's talk about that. Today, I get a different picture of the Mr. Nkabinde that sat before us last week in terms of your friendship with Nkabinde. So what kind of relationship do you have?
It's a close relationship. In such a way that we discuss personal stuff, me and him. We visit each other. We even go to social gatherings together, social functions together if we are invited. So he is a very close person to me, General Nkabinde, in that sense.
And in terms of Minister Nkunu?
In terms of Minister Nkunu,
would you consider yourself friends?
No, he's not a friend.
How do you reconcile your description now, though, with what we've heard from General Nkabinde? What went wrong? Why would he say the things about you that he has? And I mean, you're sitting here on a public platform where you say that, for example, that he lied to us. I mean, that doesn't look like a solid friendship to me.
When that happened, I just had an inference that General Mkhwanazi was upset that I recorded him. That was an inference that why he's so upset. It's because how many things he discussed with me. So that means how many times I recorded him. So he took it very personal that a person who's very close to me and a person that I talk to him everything, he now recording me.
But do you blame him?
No, I don't blame him, but that's why I also had the justification why I recorded him.
I want to ask you a question. Did you leak the confidential PKTT disbandment letter written by Minister Mkhunu to Mr. Mogotsi or to Mr. Matlala? So did you leak that to Mogotsi or Matlala or any other unauthorized person?
Not at all. And moreover, I don't know Matlala.
Were you acting as some kind of a political conduit at that stage? Did you ever pass any sensitive documents to advance any agenda of any kind?
Not at all.
And can you explain your involvement in preparing and revising that 31 December letter?
I was going to say, Chair, that is why I was saying to the Honorable Evidence Leader, even if it's inconvenient for search and seizure and all, but in a way I'm happy that at least the investigation will reveal the truth, whether you did something or not. Coming to, can you repeat I just got disturbed?
No, I just asked, can you explain your involvement in preparing, revising or handling the letter?
In preparing and revising of a letter, I was not involved at all. When the letter was drafted, we were not together with the minister. So I cannot even comment when he was drafting it, how he drafted it. I only got involved when he said, I've got a directive that I want you to forward to the National Commissioner. I only got involved there. And it means if it's not my job for administration work, probably it would have gone without even me knowing. It's just that it has to via me to do it.
Thank you, Mr. Nkabinde. What role did Advocate Pikoli play in redrafting or reviewing the letter?
He proofread it, and I can remember he had some inputs, which I can't recall now. He had some inputs where it was inserted before then the minister then okayed it, then I said.
Are there any of the changes that you can remember? Changes or can you remember any of the input?
I'm not sure whether there were anything talks to constitution or something, but it was in line with a minister's powers.
And how would you interpret the fact that someone with this kind of senior experience did not detect the alleged constitutional deficiencies in the initial draft? Yeah, how would you interpret that?
In reference to Advocate Pikoli?
Yeah.
You know, after the letter was seen by him, you then have that confidence that a person with legal mind and a special advisor, he will advise the minister correctly. So there was absolutely nothing even for me to think further.
I think it would be good, Chair, if somehow, even if it's a written submission, to get clarity from Advocate Pikoli on that for the record. In terms of the recording of General Nkhunazi, Mr. Nkabinde, you never informed General Nkhunazi that he was being recorded, correct?
Yes, I never.
You deliberately hid the recording device from him, or it was recorded over the phone? It wasn't a device.
It was a phone.
It was a, okay.
Yes.
Who authorized you to record the general?
No one authorized me. I took that decision.
So, explain to us again shortly, what was the purpose of it?
The purpose of the recording, I had a conversation with General Mkhwanazi on the 2nd of January. when he was querying about the letter. Then he mentioned all other sorts of things that there will be fight back. If he's clean, the minister is clean, we're gonna dig him while he was a premier. It was those things that General Mkhwanazi alluded to me. Then on the 5th, General Mkhwanazi sent me a WhatsApp message, the one that now is reflecting here in my statement. He forwarded me that message. Then I read it. Then he contacted me afterwards. He said to me, hey, you see what I got from Facebook? How do you think our conversation on the 2nd got outside? Because it was just 2 of us. Then I said, General, where do you get this thing? He said, I got it from Facebook. Then we started to deliberate. Do you think someone is listening to our phones? We were now deliberating. Then he said, hey, maybe someone is listening to us. That is when I come back to and say, hey, but General, I don't think someone was listening to us because the content of this message is not correct. If someone was listening to our conversation, surely he would never leave out that there would be fight back. He will never leave out that if the minister is clean, we're gonna dig him. But all those things is not included here. In fact, I'm telling him on the recording, in fact, General, you did not say there will be a warrant of arrest. You never spoken anything about warrant of arrest, General. And again, you have never said the minister is a small boy. I can't remember you saying that. So what is going on now with this? And it's a conversation between 2 people. Now, I know for the fact, our conversation I never share with anyone. And it was a conversation between me and him. So now I started not to understand where does this message come from.
So you just recorded it and kept it for your own record?
Yes, that's okay. Let me record. In case something like this happen again, I will just show the recording.
But why did you previously then say, or Minister Nkunu said that he instructed you to record General Mkhwanazi because he was threatening you?
No, I was telling the sequence of event that after the 2nd, after our conversation on the 2nd with General Mkhwanazi, I informed the minister. Then the minister said, these are serious threats. You should consider recording him. That's what he said, the minister. But this time around in this one specifically, I'm not saying I would not comply with the suggestion of the minister at any stage, but this specific one, what prompted me is what General Mkhwanazi is giving me, which is now contradicting and distorted.
So is Minister Nkunu lying? Because Minister Nkunu said that the recording that we know about was because of him instructing you to record General Mkhwanazi.
No, he never instructed me. He gave an idea that you should consider recording him.
Immediately. So, if the purpose, let me rather ask this. So the recording wasn't your idea, correct? It was the idea of Minister Nkunu.
Sorry?
Was the recording the idea of Minister Nkunu, or was it your own idea?
No, it was my own decision.
See, again, discrepancy. That's not what Minister Nkunu testified before this House. So that's now the second discrepancy where Minister Nkunu or yourself or General Mkhwanazi or yourself, so you're contradicting each other here. The person who benefits from this recording is the minister, not you, correct?
No, it was me.
How, let's rather say, you can't prove that this is the full unedited recording, can you?
It's not full?
Unedited recording, can you?
I can prove because it's me who recorded it. It's not edited.
And you knew that secretly recording someone without consent is a privacy violation, correct?
I knew that I'm not breaking any law if I'm part of that conversation.
But you can't just record someone without them knowing.
Yes, but I know that I'm not breaking any law. If I'm part of that conversation, I can record for so many reasons.
That's very interesting. I would say at least under the Poppy Act, at least. I mean, why would an honest official need to unlawfully conceal and record someone?
Yeah, if you have a conversation with someone, just two of you.
Yeah, but this is your boys' weekend, Fred.
And all of a sudden, he's coming with the distorted
No,
information.
but this is your boys' weekend guy. Like, you guys you're like brothers. The way you described it, when you do naughty things together. That's what you told us.
Yes, but that was another thing, that how come he's coming back to me with a wrong message?
But wouldn't you confront him with that first and discuss that with him instead of just
No,
recording
we
him for
discussed
backup's
it.
sake?
We discussed it. It was on record, but we were discussing it. That what do you think what is going on here? It's two of us. One of us leaked this thing, but my worry, the information is wrong. That was my only worry.
The information in
It's wrong, yes. I don't want tomorrow, General Mkhwanazi said, he said something that he did not say, even himself, because this message contained things that General Mkhwanazi never said, even himself. So it's very dangerous now when this thing it will now as if I'm creating it. I want to have a bad name of Mkhwanazi. He's speaking, it's just two of us. And now the message comes back with the wrong information. What Mkhwanazi will think, he will think maybe it's me now, I'm lying, I'm exaggerating things that he never said.
Apologies for interrupting you. Why did you not previously tell us that that wasn't actually the recording then? Because what you're saying now, if I understand you correctly, is that the recording that we've heard part of is not actually an accurate recording. It's been altered. Is that correct?
It's not altered. The specific recording is not altered.
But you're breaking my brain here, because you just said that the one that he referred to that was on Facebook was not the real recording.
No, I'm not referring to the recording. He sent me a WhatsApp message purportedly to be our conversation on the 2nd, of which our conversation were not a correct version of this WhatsApp message, not a recording. On the 2nd, there's no recording.
I'm speaking about the recording, Mr. Nkabinde. I want to understand whether it was the original recording that was played on Facebook.
What do you mean on Facebook? It was even on Facebook. It was not a recording. It was a message. That's what he said. It's not a recording.
Yeah, I'm gonna conclude. I think we're going in circles at the moment. Mr. Nkabinde, I'm concerned. It's one thing to do something like this without a colleague knowing, behind his back. Even more so your boys' weekend guy. I think we must seriously consider and remember what else could potentially have happened. Do you understand the seriousness of this, the contradictions that we've heard today between what you say, what Minister Mthunu says, what you say, and what General Mkhwanazi says? It literally contradictions between the three of you. Thank you, Chair.
Are you responding to the statement, Mr. Nkabinde, on the contradictions?
Sorry, Chair.
Are you responding to the statement on contradictions?
Yes, Chair, I can comment. I never contradicted with anyone. What I share to this committee It's a correct version of what I know.
Chair, I think it's just a closing comment, Mr. Nkabinde, and you can stand by that. It's absolutely your right. What I'm saying is there's a clear discrepancy between your version and the version of General Konazi, one, and there's a definite discrepancy, especially in terms of the recording of your version and the version of Minister Mkhunu. So you can stand by your version, 100%, but you're missing each other on it. And then maybe just the last point, if you share a recording like that with a third person, it becomes illegal. So it's good to remember that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Honorable Cameron, Mr. Cedric Nkabinde. It is for the first time since we started with our proceedings, Honorable Cameron, that you exhaust all the time allocated to you. This is the anniversary spirit. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Who is taking the microphone? Honorable Nomvalo. Is it you, Honorable Nomvalo? Yeah. It's now 23 minutes past. Your time expires at 7 minutes before 6. Your time starts now.
No, thank you, Chair. No, maybe I must start by saying that with no attempt of trying to subvert the previous performance of the witness before us, but I think today is doing much better. I thought it's important that I make that statement.
Are you saying he has the helmet on his head?
Yeah. No, Mr. Nkabinde, you've been with IPIT since 2010, right?
Yes, correct.
I think you are going to be an asset to some of us because the obsession here is to drill down, and we want to trace back all these allegations so that we will have an understanding of when they started to feature in the operations of SARS. Now, when General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi was here, when he was describing your relationship, he said that you guys started to be close when you had problems at IPIT. Apparently, you applied for a post for which you were not appointed, and that's how you got close to each other. Can you say something about that? Is it true? Was it a true reflection of what you know? If you want to make some additions, you are free to do so.
It is very correct that during my hardship from IPIT, General Mkhwanazi was a person supporting and next to me because he was not also in support of what is happening in IPIT when it comes to state capture. So now when I'm reporting this, he was also happy that someone could stand up against the state capture. So he is correct that I ran to him and share my frustration.
So in your belief, were you unfairly treated when you were not appointed, or the processes were fair and you were excluded on merits?
The post that I was unfairly treated, when I left IPIT, then I was outside government. Then at some stage, there was a post advertised in the SAPS. Then I applied. When I applied for that post, I was invited for an interviews. Then I became number 1 to that post. I was recommended for the post, Then while I was waiting for an appointment letter, Paulo Sullivan sent an email to the then National Commissioner, General Stoll. And in that email, he's saying, you dare appoint that man, Nkabinde. And he copied me in that email. Then at the bottom of the email, he wrote to me, Nkabinde, how do you think I would miss this? Because I told you I won't let my eyes off you. So that means, according to Paulo Sullivan, I must suffer for the rest of my life while he's still alive. So that's what happened. And indeed, I was not appointed based on one email from Paulo Sullivan. The way is so powerful.
Okay.
Can we just request SC, because it's now Honorable Nomvalo's time to ask questions. The camera can't locate him because he's sitting right behind you. It's just 1 minute, don't worry. You're counting your time in light years, not in minutes.
Can I proceed, Chair? Well, I forgot to ask you, should I address you as Mr. Nkabinde?
Yes.
I'm asking because the issue of titles is very important. Someone came in here as a professor. When we went for lunch, he was a doctor. When we finished, he was a Mrs. So it's very important that I capture your title accurately. Now, you are saying Paul O'Sullivan wrote an email to the National Commissioner.
Yes.
Who is this Paul O'Sullivan? Because even General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, when he came here, he spoke about him. What is his interest in SAPS? Does he play any official role in SAPS?
He does not play any role in SAPS, but is in charge. Because he can send one email and everything stopped.
So
I even, through you, Chair, I even took that matter to Labour Court. How on earth an outsider send one email, and I've got all the proof that I got the post. I'm recommended for the post. How on earth an outsider send one email and my appointment is stopped? And while that Labour case is going on, it was when Minister Mkhunu appointed me. Then I had to then withdraw that post because it was a lower post anyway.
So according to your understanding, what triggers his interest in SAPS operations as an outsider? Why is he so interested?
There's a long history because the report that we are referring to in this house, it also implicates him. In fact, that is a report that I was reporting what McBride and Paulo Sullivan are doing. So I know they just hate me with passion.
Okay.
Including Sesogo, the one that is with IDEC.
Did you ever have a relationship with Paul O'Sullivan?
No, not at all. He was working with us.
What do you mean working with you? Because he is not, he does not have any official responsibility, right, at SAPS?
That was exactly what I was reporting. He was leading us, but from outside.
Did he ever, besides the influence that he had on the position that you applied for, notwithstanding that, notwithstanding that influence, did he ever have any influence in SAPS?
Not
Did he ever influence anything despite what you have mentioned?
not only in subs, he's running IPID, he's running subs, he's running NPA. You know what General Mkonas is reporting about the state capture? This is the real state capture. Because even the docket, if the docket involves Paul Sullivan, there are two dockets are there lying dust in the NPA. In fact, it was even removed from a black prosecutor.
So did he ever, I'm trying to connect some dots.
When we talk about this thing, I become very emotional what is happening between me and Mkwanazi. Because I was fighting this with him.
So you were fighting this interference,
Yes,
this
with him.
undue interference
Yes.
by Paul O'Sullivan.
Me and Mkwanazi, we are one WhatsApp group. So I don't know what is, maybe I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time. Because these are the things that, even what he's reporting now, these are the things that me and him are fighting, state capture.
But what I'm trying to understand here, Mr. Nkabinde, is how does he successfully interferes in SAP's operations? Does he have people that he works with in SAPS? Is he connected to some influential people who just take instructions from him? And if so, who are those people?
Yeah, he works with very senior people in SAPS in such a way that even with that appointment, my appointment, they leaked it to him. He even wrote there that I know about an imminent appointment of Nkabinde. Then you dare appoint him. So now how does he even got internal documents.
So do you know who he works with at SAPS? Can you specify people with whom he has been working to influence SAPS operations?
Not really, but it shows that because he knows everything in SAPS. But you wouldn't specifically say this did what when.
Okay. So while you were still working for IPIT, did you ever get any instruction from him? Or did he ever try to influence you to take a particular position?
Yes, he was giving us instruction.
How was
He was in charge of us.
How was he giving you instructions? Was he calling you, or he was coming to your offices, or he was sending you SMSs? How did it happen?
He come to the office, he hold meetings with us to tell us what to do. At some stage, he will go and interview our witnesses, portraying as if he worked for IPID. Having our letterhead of IPID, he will just call you to come and sign, and it's done everything.
Yeah, because you know what I'm trying to understand here is how does an outsider who does not work for SAPS how does he has so much influence in SAPS operations? Where is he getting those powers from? I mean, it means the system is very loose at SAPS. Anybody can just go in and call staff members and invite them to a meeting. Is it loose to that extent that anyone like myself, I can just go to any SAPS offices here or IPIT offices and say, guys, let's meet in the boardroom, let's have a meeting and give you instructions?
Yeah, no, they are in charge. He is in charge.
But where does he get those powers from? Because for you to be in charge, you must get powers from somewhere.
We don't know. Maybe this, at least now, it's revealed now to the higher authority in Parliament.
So
Because this thing was never even attended to. My report was never even interrogated, except that Minister Cele used it not to renew his contract. But the allegation, they were never dealt with. In fact, I'm the one who's suffering outside. That even when I've got an opportunity to get a job, Paul O'Sullivan will send one email to stop me. Now, it means even this appointment, I only got it because it was a hierarchy from a political office. He could not stop it.
Yeah. So what we are saying here is that you were not appointed because of his influence.
Yes. One email.
To the National Commissioner.
Yes.
So the National Commissioner acted in accordance with the instructions of Paul O'Sullivan.
Yes.
Okay. So did he ever influence a dismissal of anybody or a removal from any position of any person who ever worked for SAPS?
Yeah, that was the project that we were in, which is part of what I was reporting. The project was to make sure that General Phahlane does not get appointed as a permanent national commissioner. He was an acting national commissioner by then.
No, wait. So when you are saying it's a project that you were in, do you also involve yourself in that project?
Hence, I reported it, yes.
So you were a group that was plotting against General Phahlane?
We were in that task team that were plotting with an instruction of McBride and Paul O'Sullivan.
So how were you plotting? Were you holding physical meetings or?
Physical meetings and how we're gonna do it. That's why I ended up reporting this. It was against my conscience, destroying people. Then Phahlane was then suspended. Motiba came in as an acting national commissioner. We go for him.
So tell me, why was Phahlane a target?
The main thing was that there was no permanent national commissioner. Phahlane was acting.
Yeah, sorry, because I also want to move with you. If you don't mind, and if you can remember, can you cite times, years and months to say at this time we plotted, at this time we did this and that, so that we can move together? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it was a year 2017 where we were busy with plotting to remove Phahlane. He was an acting national commissioner. The main reason, Paul O'Sullivan wanted McBride to become a national commissioner. So we were targeting everyone who occupied that seat. Because Paul O'Sullivan wanted McBride, it's like in IP, powers are limited. So McBride must become a national commissioner. So the project was to remove everyone in that seat.
Yeah, because my recollection is that, well, I might be wrong because it happened some time ago. My recollection is that Phahlane was suspended.
Yes.
And part of the reasons for his suspension was an issue of blue lights and I think a sound system.
Sound system.
There was a story about blue lights and the sound system. Those are the reasons. So I'm trying to now weigh those reasons with what you are saying, against what you are saying, because you are saying he was suspended because you guys plotted against him. And then what was reported in the public domain are the reasons which I've outlined. So were those reasons fabricated?
Yes.
How were they fabricated?
We created a scenario where we have a search and seizure to go to his house to look for the sound system that he bought. But the aim was not about sound system. The aim was to come with the media. Acting National Commissioner's home was raided, so that the president will have no choice but to remove him.
So you came with the media.
Yeah, the media was plotting with us.
So you plotted with some journalists.
Yes.
And then the other story of Blue Lights?
No, the other story, Blue Light, it was after he was not even already, he was already removed.
He was
Yeah,
removed.
it was other.
But it
ongoing
also
investigation.
implicated him.
It also implicated him. And in that Blue Light, the target was him, because they were looking for him in all angles. Even the Blue Light story was part of that.
So the gist of all of this was a power struggle.
The gist of all this is to usurp power in the criminal justice system. Because our targets were in different departments. NPA, SSA, IP, SAPS, all of those. The plan was there, how those people have to be targeted so that they get removed.
Now, you said you were plotting. So I assume that you were plotting as a group. Are you in a position to mention other people who were part of that group that was plotting against
I can give one example, just one example here in my report. In one paragraph here, it was a well-known fact that Mr. Robert McBride wanted to become a national commissioner, and he was telling some members of task team that he was considered for the post.
Sorry, before you go on, we are talking about a task team here. Was it a factional task team or it was an official task team? Is it a task team that you established yourself in pursuit of what you wanted to achieve, or it was a task team of SAPS, an official task team?
Now remember, this is IP.
I mean, sorry, of
This is IP,
yes.
then McBride
Yes.
established a task team. Then he recruited us from different offices to become a national task team.
He established a factional group.
Yes.
So you were part of a factional group.
Yes.
Okay.
And we even the name of that group, it was a Pahlane task team.
So the name, did you have documents? I don't understand. What do you mean the name? Did you have founding documents of this factional group? Where was it termed, or you were the WhatsApp group?
Yeah, but we were reporting directly to McBride.
So you were a WhatsApp group?
Yes.
That's where you were plotting. So that's where this name was written, Pahlane Group. I mean, Pahlane.
The name of the group, yeah.
The name of the group was Pahlane?
Task team.
Pahlane task team.
Yeah, because the task team was established solely for him.
No, Chair, I think we'll make a submission, but I think it's very important that we invite General Pahlane to come to the committee. Yeah, you can carry on. I interrupted you while you were still speaking.
I was just want to make one example in this paragraph that there was a meeting that took place at Mr. Paul O'Sullivan's house. This house was a former house of a well-known Rondoville creature, whereby Mr. Paul O'Sullivan was chairing this meeting. And among other people present in this meeting, it was Mr. McBride, Mr. Mandlakayise Mahlangu from IPID. He was with our task team, the late Mahlangu. Mr. Cedric Nkabinde, myself. Sarah Jane Trent, she was a Paul O'Sullivan assistant. A white lady called Candice from Crime Intelligence. Mr. Cedric Nkabinde, the former Gauteng Hawks boss. Two white males, representative from AfriForum and from DA. And a white lady as a journalist. The main purpose of this meeting was to plot how to bring down Phahlane to ensure that he was not confirmed as a national commissioner. AfriForum representatives guaranteed that the funds were available to carry out this mission. And Paul O'Sullivan...
sorry, I'm sorry for interrupting you. You forgot to mention the year. When was that? 20...
This report is 28 April 2018.
2018, when you were about to leave IPID.
Yes, so this probably towards the end of 2017.
Or towards the end of 2017, okay.
The main purpose of the said meeting was to plot how to bring down Phahlane to ensure that he was not confirmed as a national commissioner. AfriForum representative guaranteed that the funds were available to carry out this mission. And Paul O'Sullivan was responsible of spying on Phahlane to find anything. The meeting sought to plot how to usurp power of the entire security cluster, NPA, Crime Intelligence, SSA, DPSI, and specific individuals were identified from the above mentioned department to be targeted, the purpose of which was their removal from the same position. Mr. McBride gave assurance that IPID will go after them and Paul O'Sullivan will be a spy on them.
Okay, no, can you do me a favor, Mr. Nkabinde? If you can summarize, because there are some questions which I want to ask you, and I'm afraid I'm running out of time. The gist of that meeting, even if you don't read word by word. So the gist of the meeting was to establish a plan to get rid of Phahlane.
Yes.
And in that meeting, you identified Paul O'Sullivan as a person who is going to spy.
Yes.
On Phahlane.
Yes.
So that was the first meeting of that formation.
That was the first item. The other item was to identify other role players in other departments.
Yes. So what was the common interest here against Phahlane of these people? What was a common interest against Phahlane and in favor of McBride? Why was Phahlane not preferred, and why was McBride preferred?
Because Phahlane did not comply with Paul O'Sullivan. So Paul O'Sullivan could not control Phahlane.
Whereas he could control McBride.
Yes.
Okay. And then ultimately, the goal was achieved because Phahlane was suspended.
Yes.
So according to your evidence, the reason why Phahlane was suspended was because of this plot.
Yes.
And nothing else.
Yes.
And everything else which was reported was fabricated.
Yeah, that's why he has never been arrested on those things.
Okay. And then
that is why allegations are very dangerous if not proven. Because we have people like Phahlane now who they lost all their livelihood. So it's very important to prove allegation and test them.
So with this blue light case, They were just fueling
Yes.
a plot which was
that-
already in
yeah, so that
existence.
there will be more halabaloo.
So which company was supplying blue lights?
I can't remember, instrumental law something.
Were they charged, that company?
Yes,
Were they formally charged?
yes.
Do you know where the case is now in terms of progress? Is there anyone who was arrested,
Yeah, they
prosecuted?
are going court even now.
Yes,
Yeah.
but no one has been arrested.
No, they were arrested. They are appearing courts now.
Or they have not been convicted.
They are not been convicted as yet.
Okay. And then when the NDPP was here, I asked her about her relationship with Paul O'Sullivan. And I asked if she knows Paul O'Sullivan. And then she said in her reply, she doesn't know Paul O'Sullivan. She only hears about him. Subsequently, I asked her about a case. I think we got some information somewhere that Paul O'Sullivan was once charged and prosecuted, but charges were later withdrawn. But let us start here. According to your knowledge, is Paul O'Sullivan also interfering with the NPA?
Yes.
Do you know who is his link in the NPA?
No, I don't have a specific individual, but why I'm saying that, it's because the case against Paul O'Sullivan, it gets stuck in the NPA.
Okay, so the case for which he was charged and prosecuted related to what?
It's related to what I'm reading out in this report.
He misrepresented himself as an IP employee.
All those things, yes.
Yes. Do you
And
know?
then he was charged, and McBride was charged, and the case was withdrawn to get a racketeering certificate, which is up until now. Instead, it was removed from another prosecutor to the other, but it does not come back to court.
Yeah, because
over 5 years now.
Because we requested the NDPP when she was here to tender a progress report in that regard, and we were patiently waiting for that report. But do you know who was the prosecutor of the case? Who was dealing with the case?
Yes, I know.
What is his name?
Advocate Mashego.
Is he still working for the NPA?
I think so. At DPP's office.
So he's the one who was handling the case.
Yes, and the investigating officer of that case is Major General. He's now acting as a divisional commissioner here in the head office subs.
Yes. So, according the chair is saying I'm running out of time. I so wish I can have 4 hours with you today, because there is more information that you are giving. The last one. Do you think Paul O'Sullivan has a funding that he gets somewhere which agitates him to have this uncontrollable appetite on issues of subs, or he's just being flamboyant for no ultimate benefit? Can you give a response? I won't come back. Thank you very much.
It's written in this report that he do have fundings from overseas.
So the funding is specifically for the task that he is pursuing.
Yes.
To interfere with the work of subs of the justice cluster.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Skosana.
Thank you, Chair.
36 minutes past 6. Your time expires.
Thank you, Chair. Once again, good afternoon, Mr. Nkabinde. I must say that what you just testify about here, though we know we're still probing, we still say these are allegations. But indeed, I want to give General Mkwanazi a salute that today you've spoken about the issue of the state capture, that the state capture, the real state capture is now. Am I right?
Yes.
It's scary that there was a task team which was established in particular to focus on the former acting National Commissioner, General Patlane.
Yes.
I understand that, as you said, this thing makes you emotional and being a target as well. You risk your life as well today by revealing names here. And I want to thank you for your bravery, that it takes a man to do what you have done just now. The issue of Paul O'Sullivan, who were told that he's got many passports, am I right?
Yes.
Now, I think SAPS must arrest that man with immediate effect. Now, I'm going to start by saying to you, when the boss of IDEC was here, Advocate Andrew Johnson, I posed a lot of questions, and I think I'm going to do that to you today. Do you believe that there's an Indian cabal at IDEC?
I can't be sure of that because I've never interacted with them or worked with them.
Do you know Harumel?
Yeah, there is a chief of Perumal.
Yes.
Yeah, there is there.
Do you know Beluch? What is it? Beluchun?
Luchan, yes.
Sunij?
Yes, he's there.
What is your relationship with them? Are they rogue? Because, there was an issue with Advocate Patoyi, that he was very sensitive, that we should not use those words loosely. But what we receive, let me just make a disclaimer. I sit in the Police Portfolio Committee. There's a lot of people who are sending us their frustrations like they are sending to you, as you said, almost 100, am I right?
Yes.
Now, this so-called, inverted comma, alleged Indian cabal works with a prosecutor called Advocate Tyler Chabalala. Do you know him?
No, I don't know him.
You don't know Tyler?
Yeah. Not by name.
I'm sorry?
I know the name, but I don't know him.
Okay. Now, in your submission, what made you leave IPID?
I left IPID after my after I blew a whistle. Then I got victimized, and subsequently I was offered a settlement agreement.
In your submission, remember you said that you were used by a Minister Peggy Tele, and the portfolio committee did not renew McBride, as an IPID executive director. Can you elaborate on this?
The contract of I left IPID 19 September 2018, and the contract of McBride was due to expire the following year, February.
Yes.
So now the process of renewing a contract of the executive director, it has to go to the portfolio committee and go and be confirmed in the National Assembly. The minister should motivate why he recommend the renewal and why he's not intending to renew. So those are the motivation the minister, former minister Pegicele, he submitted to portfolio committee that he's not intending to renew. And one of his reasons, then he used this report. And that report was deliberated in the portfolio committee. The portfolio committee issued a report that they are not intending to renew, and the report was adopted in the National Assembly.
Now, you said McBride and O'Sullivan hate you with passion. Can
Yes.
you summarize it for us? Why?
Because of this report.
The one which
The report I sent to Pegicele reporting all of their unethical conduct. Because in this report, it was not an anonymous. I wrote that it comes from me.
You mentioned that there's 2 cases registered against McBride and O'Sullivan. Which other 2 cases which are gathering dust? What is the status as we speak now with those 2 cases which you mentioned?
It's quiet about it.
What are those cases? Do you know? Do you have an idea?
Yeah, the other one will be corruption, defeating ends of justice, and so forth. The one that where Paulo Sullivan was impersonating as an IP officer and all that against Pahlane. That is the one. The other one, it was in respect of the meeting that I was alluding here, where one of a former Hawks boss, Mokoteti, he registered a treason case, which also that case was nowhere to be seen.
So in other words as well, we have to have another witness, but I guess we have that chair of Prince Mokotedi. It's been mentioned many times, and I guess we have to have him with General Pahlane here. Because your role in these cases was that task team where you plotted to have Pahlane not getting a permanent appointment as a national commissioner, am I right?
That's correct.
Who idea was this?
Paulo Sullivan was spearheading it, and McBride.
Now, was the minister aware of this?
No, I don't think so. Minister Pegicele
Was not aware of this.
No, he was not.
So it was a clandestine operation within SAPS.
Yes.
You've mentioned General Esbia. Was he then the Hawk boss, or was he at national level? As you said 2018, he was not a deputy at that time. I guess he was with the province at that time, am I right?
No, he was at municipality.
So he was plotting whilst he was working for the city of Johannesburg?
Yes, he was not in the police.
Wow. Now, you've mentioned a DA member and an AfriForum member who attended your meeting at one of the most notorious gang star who I think is still serving his sentence. Am I right? Then who is that house belonging to the state, or there's somebody, there's a family there of Cajun, if I'm right about the name?
It's now Paulo Sullivan's house.
No, this is a mafia state.
That's the question again, Honorable Skosana.
I will, Chair.
I'll give you 30 seconds. Ask the question again.
Ask, Chair, this house, as we speak, somebody is serving a sentence in that house. And if my memory serves me well, we were told that house was auctioned.
Yes.
Am I right, Mr. Nkabinde?
Yes, it's correct.
So the guy who bought the house is Paul O'Sullivan.
That's correct.
Are you happy, Chair?
Whose house is this house you are asking the witness about?
It was Ketcher's house, the one who was arrested, who's serving a prison sentence.
A fugitive.
A fugitive. Which now confirms that even Paul O'Sullivan is a fugitive with those passports he possesses. Hence, Chair, I'm short of adjectives of how to describe these revelations which we are getting now here. Now, as I said earlier to you, that Advocate Johnson, I posed a few questions to her. Hence, I'm asking you because you were with iPad. At least you are 3 in 1. You were with iPad, iPad, and you had the IDEC, and now as a chief of staff of the Minister Sensen Kun, am I right?
No, I've never been with IDEC.
Oh, you never been IDEC, so you have been IPID all the time.
SAPS and IPID. By the time IPID guys moved to IDEC, I was already outside.
Oh, okay. Now, in your view, what measures can we, as lawmakers, to help SAPS with all what you told us today, that you have meetings? Hence, I was asking you if you remember the issue, those members, if you know them from AfriForum and the DA. Do you know those members? Are they top echelons in their structures?
Not really. They were just introduced like that.
But they were introduced as a DA member in that. And remember, we have Rogue as well, a journalist. You said there was a journalist there.
Yes.
Perhaps, do you have the name?
No, I don't have a name. It was a white lady.
How I wish that we had pictures, because as I have mentioned some of them here, Karen Morgan, Marian Tam, Paul van Veek, and you say it was a female, am I right?
Female white, yes.
Yeah, I think, I'm not sure whether we can do that. There's cameras in that house, in Bedford View, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, this unethical conduct, is it for the first time we are reporting this to this ad hoc committee?
Yeah, it is the first time someone is listening to me about them.
But you did try to raise an alarm on these matters.
Hence, hence the report was sent to the minister.
Which minister?
Minister Pegicele.
So Pegicele did nothing about this?
I did nothing except use it not to renew the contract.
Your contract?
No, he only used this report not to renew McBride's contract, but he never done anything about it. It's the first time I talk about it. The only thing I know about this report is that I lost my job.
Now, if you remember the issue of the blue light, that contract which some few generals were arrested, am I right?
That's correct.
In your view, I think there was a police, a provincial commissioner, Tilang, in that blue light issue, am I right?
That's correct.
And there was General Mukwena in that arrest, am I right? There were about 8 or 9 or more. And General Patlane was a target, am I right?
That's it.
Because of this position which he perhaps would have been appointed for if there was no Patlane task team.
That's it.
I hope the president is listening. That in this country, at the top echelons, in 2017, in 2018, 2019, the state capture was indeed in a swing. And the media as well, whoever was there as well, because we know that they sponsored views poisoning our society. We are quite aware of that. Now, when did you last spoke to McBride?
I last spoke to him during my last day of work, 19 September 2018.
So, in your statement here, who's Mr. Temane Binang?
He was part of the task team. Now he works for IDEC.
He was part of the task team. And he was working for?
He was part of Patane task team.
Yeah, what I'm saying, was he working for SAPS or was he working
for? The task team was for an IP task team. Okay.
Now, you've mentioned as well SSA, if I listen to you carefully. Who are you comfortable to give us the name? Because you've mentioned Mr. Sisoko from IP, am I right? Before you went to IDEC. And you mentioned Mr. Kuba.
Yes.
Who was able to stop this investigation, am I right?
Yes, they were the heads.
Mr. Kuba, where is Mr. Kuba? Is he still with IP?
Yes.
And Sisoko is IDEC, am I right?
Yes.
Now, there was a meeting which shortly before the African National Congress, in your statement, African National Congress conference, and they wanted to procure a crime intelligence equipment costing 45 million, which will be used during the conference. And however, that did not, that procurement did not succeed. Am I right?
Yes.
What was the plan? What was why was the police wanted to procure that equipment for the African National Congress conference, in your view?
No, the guy Hlongwane, Brigadier Hlongwane, was part of that meeting. He mentioned that a grabber worth 7 million, they were pushed to buy it for 45 million. That's what he said. And then Mr. McBride then said the rest of the money was planned to be used for the conference
of the ANC.
The ANC, yes.
In other words, they wanted to inflate the invoice of that equipment.
Because in that meeting, a special advisor of the then Minister of Police, he was part of that meeting, a special advisor of Fikile Mbalula, who was the Minister of Police by then.
So the special advisor of the current Secretary General of the ANC was involved in these shenanigans?
Was part of that meeting, yes.
Now, if you remember very, very, very well, I think as we speak here, General Vuma is still suspended, am I right?
That's correct.
Why was she suspended? Do you know? Can you share maybe a minute if you know?
I think it's part of that that procurement. I'm not sure.
Now, the plan was to use one Brigadier Hlongwane. Is he still with the police as well?
I think it's been dismissed.
Because he's the one who was supposed to influence this procurement.
Yes.
I mean, procuring this machine. And Petle and yourself, you were supposed to fabricate a statement. Am I right?
Correct.
To achieve what?
To remove Motiba as an acting national commissioner,
Oh, yes. Oh,
pave
yes.
the way of McBride.
Now, the 702 Barry Bateman at that time was used to for disinformation. Am I right?
Yeah, it was part of us.
So Barry Bateman was part of the Pahlane task team.
That's correct.
Mandla Kayise Mahlangu, you said he has passed on, unfortunately, if I heard you well. Was he a prosecutor or was he a policeman
He was an investigator from IPID.
from IPID?
He was part of the task team.
So the executive director came up with a strategy to get 2 members from the DPCI to be seconded permanently to IPID. Who were those members?
It was Colonel Rulofse,
Colonel
Rulofse,
Rulopse,
and Captain McLean.
Captain McKay. Oh, I remember that name. Now, you know what we have done, Mr. Nkabinde, and to my honorable members and to South Africans, we will pray for you. You know, in all the, you know, let me not say all. You've mentioned General Sibia that he was part, remember?
Yeah.
And many people who are still working for SAPS. Am I right? You've made a recommendation in your statement because these are serious revelations indeed. And for me, I'm not sure about our state security because they should have known this. And this was supposed to be reported not only by you alone. As I said, Chair, I'm reserving my last 10 minutes.
No, you will be told by me what time is left.
Thank you. For now, I want to stop here because I wanted to make a follow-up at it. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. You stopped at 19 past 6. So you were to expire at 26 minutes past 6. So it's 7 minutes plus the 30 seconds that I promised you.
Thank you. I really appreciate your benevolence, Chair. Thank you.
Pass the microphone to Honorable Ngola.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Honorable Ngola, your time expires at 18:49.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good evening to the chief plottist in front of me.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Look, let's take it back to the recording. You are quite confusing us. You have responded to the you replied to Honorable Cameron that you have recorded General Mkhwanazi on the basis of your own volition. In paragraph 75 of your supplementary statement, you make mention that you have recorded General Mkhwanazi on your own volition, and the two can't coexist. It's either you have recorded General Mkhwanazi on the basis of your own volition, voluntarily, from your own accord, or you have done so on the basis of having received an advice. Which one is true?
Thank you, Chair. Firstly, I have never said to the evidence leader, I recorded General Mkhwanazi because of the advice of the minister. I've never said that. what I said to the evident leader is that yes, indeed, Minister gave that advice that you should consider recording. But in this specific recording, I was prompted and I took a decision based on General Mkhwanazi is sending me a message which is now not correct than what we spoke on the 2nd.
Was that decision taken before or after the advice from the minister?
It was after the advice.
So, okay. Then it answers my question, if that's the case.
Yeah.
You have considered the recording on the basis of the advice of the minister?
No, that's not correct.
Okay, what is correct?
What is correct, I decided to record after General Mkhwanazi is sending me a distorted information.
So you considered the advice of the minister?
No, I never considered the advice of the minister. I was prompted by that message.
Okay. I think let's pass this stage. I don't want us to spend more time, but I really do not agree with how you structure it. It's fine. Maybe we'll deal with it on a later stage. Part of what you say is the issue relating to what you call threats by General Mkhwanazi, who says if the letter is not withdrawn, there is going to be a fight back and all that. And I can assure you that even the minister has even brought a recording. But in the recording, the person who is heard uttering those words is you, not General Mkhwanazi. Have you been able to get access to that recording, and what is your view about it?
That is exactly what happened. After I received this message, which is it's carrying incorrect information, I started to record. Then while it's recorded, we are now deliberating, myself and General Mkhwanazi.
Let's do like this, Mr. Nkabinde, with due respect. May you just pull back a moment, redirect the microphone to, yeah, you can switch it on and proceed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then when we are talking with General Mkhwanazi that what would have happened because it was just two of us conversation on the 2nd. Would it be maybe someone was listening to our conversation or tapping our phones? Then I said, no. I don't think someone was tapping our phones because there are crucial things that you said, which is supposed to be contained in this message. If there was a person tapping us or listening to us, he wouldn't leave out that you said there will be a fight back. He wouldn't leave out that you said if the minister is clean, he can continue. And then General Mkhwanazi is affirming, is agreeing with me that, yeah, no, he never said this thing, and is agreeing with me with in reference to our conversation of the 2nd. So that's what the recording entails.
Okay. You say there is nothing special about the complaint brought by Mr. Adams, but the series of events are proving otherwise. There is 2 days in between opening the 2 cases in Cape Town and Johannesburg. But in a space of about less than 20 days, there was an arrest already. It went to the minister, went to the national commissioner, went to the chief of staff, went to IDEC, and arrest was made. Now, the events actually suggest that the complaint by Honorable Adams was actually treated specially. So, in your own recollection, are all the complaints that you receive treated the same way, getting the same special attention, and exacerbated within this short period of time?
First of all, why I was saying the complaint of Adams was not special to me. It's because I treated like any other complaints that I'm getting. In the complaint, I did not even know details of the complaint. I only see case numbers. I'm not even sure who's involved and who are the suspects. So that is why I'm saying that complaint for me, it was like any other complaint. I even referred the same day to different authorities.
Do you usually refer complaints the same day?
Yes, I refer complaints like almost every day. I screen them, I refer to the relevant department. In some others, you'll find that it does not even for the police. Then I need to refer to other departments. So there's always referral. And then how people receiving it, done about it, I cannot comment. I'm not sure.
That's fine, but I'm telling you, the series of events in relation to the complaint by Honorable Adams do suggest that the complaint received a special attention, but we'll discuss that with the committee on committee deliberations. You say, apart from IPID, it was therefore important that the complaint is referred to another independent body, IDEC. How is IDEC an independent body?
IDEC is independent from SAPS, or it's independent even from the Ministry of Police, because SAPS, IPID, DPCI, and SERA, those are entities reporting to the Minister of Police. IDEC is under NPA. It's totally independent from our environment.
Yeah, it should have been properly explained that independence from the police.
Yes, from the police.
Because when you say independence, it will have an overarching.
No, from the police.
Because even the accounting officer of IDEC is the Director General of the Department of Justice. So that's why we wanted to get what you mean exactly. So the minister testifies before the committee and says he has nominated about 3 people for the position of the chief of staff, which therefore was subjected to the HR process, and interviews were later held or conducted. Is that correct?
I don't know if for the chief of staff position, there were 3 people nominated. Minister has never shared that information with me.
But do you recall that you said you were the only one in the last testimony?
Who?
You.
I said what?
You said you were the only one who was nominated. You said under oath. Do you recall that part?
Yes, because I was the only one doing those assessments. I was not competing with anyone.
Okay, let's go to, do internal communication protocols of the police service permit a chief of staff to call a press briefing to talk about policing issues?
No, it's not allowed.
It's not allowed.
Yes.
Okay. What did you mean when you said if anything happens to you, it must be blamed to General Masemola?
It's because those police who came suspiciously with balaclavas, they said they were sent by him.
The people who invaded your place?
Yes, with balaclavas.
Had balaclavas?
Yes.
And they said they were sent by Masemola.
Yes.
Did this not happen during the time of the raid and confiscation of gadgets?
It was during that time, but the raid could not happen because I was not at home.
So was it police who arrived at your place?
Yes.
They wore balaclavas?
Yes.
And they said they were sent by General Masemola?
Yes.
Okay. That point is noted. You said you don't know the names of the further 4 people who attended the meeting with the minister.
Yes, I don't know.
And you say you did not attend the meeting as well.
Yes.
But you say you confirm that the Stilfontein debacle was discussed in the meeting. How do you confirm the discussions of the meeting you're not part of?
No, the purpose of the meeting was for that. So surely part of the discussion will be informed by the purpose of the meeting.
Okay.
Because that's how I facilitated it.
That's fair.
Yes.
Then how is Mr. Mokgotsi a relevant body for Stilfontein in your own?
My assumption will be that Stilfontein is part of his province.
Stilfontein is part of his province?
Yes.
Oh, is he part of the mining industry?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay. Is he leading the province? Is he a local leader?
No, I don't know.
Was the meeting not based on calling local leaders to discuss the debate in Stilfontein?
Yes, the purpose was for Mokgotsi to arrange local leaders.
Local leaders.
Yes.
Okay. You say there is a 22nd November top management meeting of the SAPS.
Yes.
That discussed as part the political killings task team. But you further say you don't think it's important that you disclose the discussions in that particular meeting. Why is it so? The crux of why we're here is the dissolution of the political killings task team. So any information relating to whatever meetings was, you'll recall, Mr. Nkabinde, that we have got numerous evidence with us. And most of it contradicts each other. Kwanaza says this, Masemola says this, Sbiya says this, Mkono says this. So it's very important, boss. We must understand the steps leading to the letter of the 31st of December 2024.
Why I said that is because I can only share what I could remember, but the meeting is for the minister, who knows why he called the meeting, but I can share what I can remember, what was discussed. That is why earlier on, I did not even mention only PKTT, because I remember the issue of fiscal policy and ORS. I remember an issue of inspectorate. Then I remember the issue of murder and robbery unit, where PKTT name was touched on as one of those task team that will fall under murder and robbery unit.
When were you appointed as the chief of staff?
1st of August.
August.
Yes.
Are you aware of the letter of Miss Mary Dihas?
No.
On the 31st of October?
No.
You have not seen it?
No.
Which was a complaint to the minister?
No, I never.
You didn't see it?
No.
Okay. Now let's go to paragraph 64 of your main statement. Of your main statement, 64 of the supplementary statement, sorry. Of the supplementary statement. You say, yeah, You have no prior knowledge of the existence of the PKTT before the letter of the 31st of December 2024. That's paragraph 64 of your supplementary statement. But in the same statement, you say you had a meeting on the 22nd of November 2024 discussing, amongst other issues, the PKTT. Isn't that a contradiction?
No, it's not written like that, 64. It does not say I had no knowledge of the existence.
Okay.
Yeah. The 64 is saying I had no prior knowledge of the operational activities of the PKTT.
Okay. So you have the knowledge now after the 31st meeting?
I have no knowledge. Even now, I don't know what they are doing. I don't have any knowledge of their operational activities.
But why are you saying prior the 31st of December? Was inadvertently this means after the letter, you actually have knowledge of the operations now?
No, there was a specific question that I was responding, guided by the consultation. There was a specific question that there are incidents happened before the 31st directives, which those incidents, they are perceived or alleged to be a contributing factor for the disbandment. So that was a specific response during the guidance of what the committee is looking for.
Okay, let's go to, you say you, as part of your life in the service, taught the law of evidence.
Yes.
To maybe the juniors, the trainees, and
yes.
all sort of that. Now, we'll presume that at least the basics of the law of evidence at least are understandable.
That's correct.
So in your own understanding, can an illegally solicited evidence be admissible?
No.
It can't?
It can't.
Okay. Do you understand that there are laws that govern the handling of intelligence information in South Africa?
That's correct.
Okay. So can a person wake up and say they got an intelligence report on the doorstep when they woke up going to pee in the toilet, then go to IDEC and lay a complaint without producing those documents, by just writing an affidavit? Can that happen in a normally operating, say, security cluster?
No, it will be very difficult to comment because I don't know what happened to that person.
Okay.
So it will be irrational for me to comment on something I was not there. I can say he's lying. What if he's not?
Okay. I'm asking, I'm not referring to a person. I'm referring to what the law says about the handling of intelligence information. So that's why I'm making an example about myself. Can I, is it legally permissible for me to do that? Wake up in the morning, say at the doorstep of my home, I saw a file with intelligence information, and therefore I am laying a complaint on the basis of that intelligence information, but not produce that information to you, the person I'm laying a complaint to. I just bring it in a way of, in a form of the word of mouth. Can that be legally permissible as a credible and an admissible evidence?
It's depending that once you get that information, you then definitely need to probe further to collaborate. Yeah, because those are the things you cannot just take from a face value.
Yes.
You just need to probe it further and verify and confirm. As far as the source, the originator of that leaked report, because it means it was leaked somewhere.
And to investigate it further means part of what I must get hold of is the said report.
Yes, and
Yeah.
and trace it back.
Yes, as part of the primary documentary evidence
definitely.
that I must have in supporting the actual the actual intention to pursue further towards an arrest. I must have at least went and solicited that documentary evidence, trace it how it came about and all that.
That's correct.
So if I did not do that, it therefore means my actions towards Honorable Nduli as a person who is actually an alleged culprit in the complaint, my actions would actually be not justifiable if I had not undergone these steps me and you are arguing about.
Yes, but I don't want to take ownership in that direction because every case has its own merits. Yes. So you'll find that there is a part of classified document and we wouldn't know what else that one should consider in investigating the matter.
Okay. Let's leave this matter and go to the boys' trip. You say in your statement that the boys' trip ultimately ended up taking a visit to Minister Mkhunu's homestead.
That's correct.
And you call it incidental.
It's not incidental. I decided that let's go past there.
Okay.
It can't be incidental where you will drive to that direction.
So you withdraw incidental.
I will.
Written in the statement, the introduction of Mkhwanazi to the minister was incidental. And incidental, how I know it, is us accidentally meeting each other in the toilet, meeting each other in a restaurant, meeting each other in a corridor, without knowing that we're going to meet each other. So taking a conscious decision to take a drive and visit someone can be incidental. Do you agree on that?
No, it is incidental in a way that it has never been a planned trip. And we're coming from Durban. We drive all the way to Mpangeni side for something else. Then we are in the area. Then I said, hey, let's go and visit the old man.
That's the part.
That's the part. So that incidentally come from there.
That's the part that contradicts your explanation. You say incidental means you didn't plan.
Yes.
And you say again, then you are in the same area. Then you say, hey, let's go visit that man. That's a plan. You plan to visit the minister.
No, it can't be planned if it's sudden.
Can't be planned if it's sudden.
If it's a sudden thought that now we are here, can't we go and pass by the minister?
But do we agree that incidental means meeting each other without knowing that we're going to meet each other?
I was referring to that because General Mkhwanazi had no plan to go and see the minister. I hijacked him while we were in the area. Then he agreed.
Yeah, I get that explanation and I'm not against it, but I still maintain that it was not incidental. It's an acceptable, look, don't confuse this thing and think that we're saying is wrong. No, that's not what we're saying. But all we're saying is that it cannot be incidental as actually alleged by the statement. Because you consciously took a boys' trip to Minister Mkhunu's house to visit him with an intention, visit him. So it's not a coincidence. It's not an incident.
But it was not planned.
Okay, let's leave it. Have you been able to? Wait, this is my last point, Chair. I'm taking this to you because you have experience in the detective work. So have you been able to see or access or hear what General Khumalo is charged with? The charges against General Khumalo?
No, I never got a chance to see except what is on the media. But without me seeing a docket as a detective, it's very difficult to make a comment because I don't know what is in there. But if I can have that docket as a detective trainer, not even a detective, I can tell whether there's a case here or not.
Okay. Amongst the charges is an employment of brigadier somewhat. I just can't recall the surname. There is an employment process that has been undertaken, and there is an accusation that it was an irregular employment. There are a lot of things that are said about it, but can that turn to be a criminal case?
Depending the circumstances surrounding that.
Which circumstances can a labor matter like this be turned to be a criminal trial?
Once an irregular appointment consists of forgery, it's now become more criminal than labor. But I'm not too sure the circumstances of that specific matter. But but if it's involved any sub form of manipulation, misrepresentation, or what, it's just that I don't have the merits of that specific case.
Okay. Chair, it's just that my recollection is failing me. I'm not sure if as part of our draft list for witnesses to be called, Mr. Paul O'Sullivan is part of it. But if not, can we add Mr. Paul immediately?
We have that list. We can't add him here. We must, if there is any witness that has to be added, the name must come in a formal meeting of the committee. But the name is there, Honorable Ngola.
Yeah, that's why, Chair, I started by saying if my recollection is serving. My recollection is not serving me well.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you
very much.
You were left with with 1 minute of your time.
Yeah, Chair, that's why I want to valelisa officially to the chief plotist.
Yeah.
I want to also echo, Chair, the views by Honorable Mvalo that today you are doing very well.
You brought the helmet.
In assisting the committee, because our own objective is not to fight with anyone, but to try to get to the bottom of what happened so that it informs our findings. I was worried last time because you appeared like someone who was here to stage a fight back. And I was like, if this is the attitude, this one is going to collapse within a minute. And it happened. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you so much. The members are applauding you for bringing your helmet and the badge. And I added the necklace and the amulets.
Thanks to you, Chair, for your good advice.
I'm calling the grannies at home to organize the beads for you. Tema will bring those beads. Honorable Kola Barnett, your time starts now.
Thank you very much, Chair.
And then it ends at 7:20. We're going to break.
Thank you.
And come back at 8.
Sure. I'm finding it quite fascinating that we're talking so much about Robert McBride, and yet for some reason we're not calling him to give evidence. Surely he must be given the right of reply. I think that must be seriously considered. I agree with my colleague. And while people were going on about this man, Paul O'Sullivan, I Googled him, and he apparently runs O'Sullivan, Brosnan and Associates and are leading experts in forensic and fraud investigation and a whole lot more. So it seems quite a substantial firm for people wondering what on earth he does. Now, Mr. Nkabinde, I was in Parliament in the Police Portfolio Committee meeting. I think probably the only one in the room here now, except Nicolette perhaps, it was a meeting in which Robert McBride was turned on by ANC members of that committee. And the outcome of that truly, truly acrimonious meeting was that he was not allowed to be retained for a second term as the head of the IPID. It was a job I had very serious reservations about initially, but finally accepted that he did the job well and without fear or favor. Now, I was fascinated to read about the claims of how in 2018 IPID members were encouraged by SAPS members to undermine the IPID head McBride. And Mr. Nkabinde, you said during your first, sorry, I can't see you. May I ask, yeah, I can shift. Anyway, I'm here, if that helps. You said in your first appearance before this committee that you in fact put in a report, and you confirmed that today. I'm not sure who you put it to, and that it was as a result of that report that it was decided Parliament would not allow him to stand for a second term. Now, Mr. Nkabinde, you said this decision was taken before the parliamentary committee sat to determine his fate. You in fact said that the decision was taken outside of Parliament before we inside of Parliament met to deliberate on the matter. The implication is that Parliament is just a tick box exercise for people like you, and while long suspected by many, this confirmation for MPs is in fact horrendous. Could you comment on that, please?
Thank you, Chair. The Portfolio Committee embarked on investigating this matter. As a result, they wrote a letter to me to confirm my allegations, because my allegation, as per the report, was central to those deliberations. Then until the committee finalized its deliberations and issued a report, which in that report, my report is in reference, which is on the public domain.
Well, in 2018, when you worked at the IPID, did you work with Lieutenant General Kumotso Paklane, the much arrested acting National Police Commissioner who followed Ria Piecha after she'd been removed, to try and discredit the IPID so that he wouldn't be charged? Let me repeat, you were employed at the IPID by the time, dealing with criminality within the SAPS at the time, but you seem to have forgotten that Paklane was arrested for a 191 million rand fraud and corruption case involving him and a string of other senior police officers. It was a very serious matter, which somehow you seem to claim was just a setup, it's been through court after court, appeal after appeal, he's lost and lost and lost. And yet you somehow claim it was some kind of state capture business. To me, it just looked like down and out theft. And that's what he was charged with. I've got the names of all of those charged. And some of it included the irregular procurement of software called RipJar, which was meant to be used during the incidents of October 2015, the Fees Must Fall protest. All irregular contracts relating to procurement, which is where most of the thieving in the SAPS usually happens. Did you write an affidavit specifically for Paklane to use as a supporting affidavit for him when he was charged by the IPID, the very entity you were working for?
No, I wrote this report, which it was in favor of Paklane.
Okay. You were a senior investigator at IPID and on the very task team investigating Paklane, when it apparently came to light, and I quote from an affidavit and various other documents, in mid-March 2018, that certain SAPS members, including General Mkhonazi and Paklane, had allegedly approached members of the IPID task team and offered them promotions to brigadier within crime intelligence in exchange for giving false statements implicating McBride and other senior IPID members involved in the Paklane investigation. Now, your response to that?
I was never approached. I was not also part of those people, if there are any, whom they were approached. I don't know about that.
So did Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi convince you to give a Section 204 statement against McBride and try to destroy the case against Paklane? Of course, you were one of the main investigators, saying that as your very close friend, he would help you get another position.
No, that has never happened.
Okay. Were you offered a brigadier position in the SAPS for bringing McBride down?
No, not at all.
Okay. And certainly an affidavit by Mandla Matlangu confirmed what was happening and that had happened to him, but he was killed shortly after deposing that affidavit. I'm sure you must have known him. Now, the IPID was at that stage investigating crime intelligence for the purchase of the grabbers at the massively bloated price of 45 million. It's presumed that this is one of the reasons McBride was targeted. Yet somehow when you were talking earlier, you gave the impression that somehow he was behind the purchase instead of driving the investigation into the purchase. Could you clarify, please?
I was part of that investigating team. We were investigating that matter.
Okay, so you were not implying that, in fact, as the head of IPID, he had purchased the grabbers?
No, McBride was investigating that matter, yes, with us.
Sorry, when you presented earlier, it didn't quite come out like that. That's fine. I'm glad you've clarified that. Thank you. Now, I'd like you to clarify your expertise. Did you, in fact, meet the minimum requirements in terms of experience for a chief director post? Because as the chief of staff to a minister, the requirement is you must have at least 5 years experience in senior management, which means you must have been at least at a level of director for 5 years. But you left the IPID as an assistant director, which is a junior management position. So it's difficult to understand how you were given the position, in that the HR department is very, very sticky in this area.
Yes, after I left government, I acquired a managerial position as a head of forensic, managing forensic in private sector.
For 5 years?
Yeah, more than 5 years.
Thank you. I've read various affidavits wherein your claims are described as, quote, extravagant and utterly false. I find it truly a shame, and I agree with my colleague, Ian Cameron, that you chose to leave rather than go through the process or indeed going to court to clear your name. Do you regret that now? Should you not have stuck it out and cleared your name?
No, I could not wait to get dismissed. If I get that offer, I could, no ways I cannot grab it.
Okay. I'm told you actually asked to go. You were not asked by others. You asked to leave, yes?
Can you repeat?
You asked to leave the IPID personally. You said you want to go. You've had enough.
No, it's never happened like that.
Okay, that's not my information. That's most interesting.
No, McBride came and proposed the settlement agreement. That's why we were all shocked. What is he doing at the disciplinary hearing venue? Because as a head of department, you can't be part of disciplinary. So he came there to stop it.
Well, that's again.
And I also know why he stopped it. He did not want to go out of proportion, because what is in the report, it was just a drop in an ocean.
Again, I'm receiving contradictory information, which is again why I think, Chair, if we had a chair, acting chair, whoever we have in the room, I think we need to definitely call. We're having accusations that are one-sided. We need a right of reply. So I think McBride must be summoned to the committee. Thank you. I'm done, Chair, or acting chair, or I don't know what to call you.
Thank you, Honorable Bernard. And the chair has indicated that we are going to consider this proposal. You recall that both Honorable Nomvalo, Honorable Skosana, myself, and yourself now have actually proposed a certain number of people to be added. So there's going to be a meeting to discuss that. Thank you very much, Honorable Matheus.
Are we going now or are we having a break? I have no problem going.
Oh, what did you say?
I'm saying, are we going to continue now or are we having a break?
Let's go. Let's go.
Must be nice again. Yeah.
Honorable Mates, we're going to take the break immediately after you. So we will take your 30 minutes, because anyway, we're supposed to take a break at 7:30. So you can proceed, Honorable Mates. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nkabinde. Why did you give us a supplementary statement instead of a new statement?
I realized that there was no materially changes that needs to be effected. In fact, I realized that after I got an accurate information, like for instance, the issue of a date of the meeting of Brown Mohotsi and the minister, in my initial statement, I said it happened between October, November. Then if I check the correct date, it was 28 October, which means in my initial statement, there was nothing wrong I did. My estimation was very correct. So it means I just needed to supplement and give more additional information for clarification.
Did your legal team advise you to do this and you agreed to it?
That's correct.
Okay. So there are 6 material changes and possibly more in your statement. We're going to go through it. Number 1, on your initial statement, paragraph 71. I don't know if you want to go to there. It says there was a meeting on the 21st of November 2024 with the top management of SAPS to discuss violent murders and crimes. Then on your supplementary statement, you say, I recall attending a meeting on the 22nd of November, 2024, etc. So there's a date change from the 21st to the 24th of November.
It's not a date change.
I beg your pardon?
It's not a date changed, Chair. When I consult the calendar, I had to supplement with an additional meeting. 21st of November, it was there. The meeting is correct. What is not showing there is the meeting of the 22nd, which I had to supplement and give as an additional meeting.
On paragraph 80, you said you facilitated a meeting and then you were vague, and then on your supplementary statement, you set out the chronology, and then you include the dates as the 28th of October and the 30th of September. So here you give an explanation or expansion.
Yes.
It's not necessarily a contradiction. On paragraph 82, there's also your dates are broad. You had indicated January and February, and then you tighten it up to the 3rd of February. So there's some clarification there and not necessarily details. When we go to paragraph 76, you say the 30th of September 2024, and then you clarify in the supplementary statement, you say there on the 1st of October and not the 30th of September.
Yes, I was clarifying, okay. Yes.
Right, so it's a date change. On paragraph 71, you say of the main state, in your first statement, you present him as attending meetings on the 21st of November 2024, and on the 5th and the 6th of March 2025, and then you have the 27th of March 2025, describing what was discussed about the PKTT and the murder and robbery unit. So you don't spell out how active or passive your role was in those meetings. Then in the supplementary statement, you reaffirm that you had no operational knowledge of the PKTT prior to the 31st of December directive. But you clarify that your role in these meetings were to provide strategic and administrative support. So you have reframed your role completely in these paragraphs.
Yes, in my supplementary, I was now clarifying more of my role.
You're reframing it. Should we read it? There's a difference to clarifying and reframing it.
No, I was putting in additional information.
You narrow your role down, you're not, okay, let's read it. If you're saying that, let's read paragraph 76 in your statement.
The initial one or supplementary?
Your initial statement. Because you reframe your role, and in the main statement or your first statement, you create an impression that you were more involved in these PKTT discussions. And then in your supplementary one, you say that you didn't really participate in it. So you're reframing it, you're not providing us additional information.
Chair, where is it that I was showing my more involvement in my initial statement? Which paragraph?
Paragraph 71.
71 does not show any of my involvement.
Paragraph 68 to 72. I beg your pardon.
'68.
To 72.
I had no knowledge of the operations of the PKTT prior to the directive being issued. Then 69. I do, however, have knowledge of the existence of the PKTT. I recall attending meetings in November, which was attended by SAP's top management, of course, in my capacity as a chief of staff. I do not believe it is necessary and relevant to speak to what was discussed there, save to mention that there was a mention of the PKTT amongst other issues. So also here, I don't see my involvement or my active participation. 70, I attended all meetings with the minister in my capacity as a chief of staff. My role during these meetings was to provide strategic and administrative support, to take note of key decisions and directives, and to ensure that all matters arising were properly coordinated and implemented through the appropriate channels, acting with the instructions of the minister. Also here, I don't see where I was actively involved, except those administrative support. 71, there was a meeting on 21st November with the top management of SAPS to discuss violent matters and violent crimes. And also here, I don't see my active participation. 72, I attended the meetings of 5 and 6 March, where the gradual disbandment.
You don't, in your supplementary statement, you remove the word strategic.
Which paragraph?
In your supplementary statement, you got knowledge of, you don't say strategic, you say knowledge of PKTT prior to the issuing of directive.
Where do I say strategic?
You don't say strategic in your supplementary statement.
In my initial, where do I say it?
Paragraph, let me go to it. And maybe you can tell us what is your understanding of strategic? Because you just read now about strategic in paragraph 68. Did you not? You just read now.
Yeah, in paragraph 70, I was outlining my generic duties when I'm attending meetings, that my responsibility is to provide strategic and
yeah.
administrative support.
Okay, and then in your supplementary, you remove the point about strategic. So I guess we're not clear, or you're not clear, because there's a huge difference when you say strategic and then you withdraw it, because now you're downplaying
Yes, but
what your role is.
in my
and that you didn't
supplemental, there is no
participate in the
strategic.
meeting. I beg your pardon?
In my supplemental, there is no strategic. There has to be.
So there's just been a complete different reframing of your role in those paragraphs. Let's move on to paragraph 55 in the first statement.
Yeah, but in my paragraph 66, in my supplementary, strategic is there.
In the same context, hold on, let me find it. Oh, I have to look on my laptop. Let's go to paragraph 55 to 58. You say the minister asked that I consider that these are serious threats and that I consider recording my conversation. And then you state in your supplementary that the timelines, which is paragraph 45 to 54, remain accurate. But you say, however, I wish to clarify what is stated in paragraph 55. So your first statement rather is strong, has very strong links to the idea that the recording, which has come up, was the minister's suggestion. Not that he told you to do it, but that it was his suggestion. Now in your supplementary statement, you're saying it was all on your own.
In my initial, there's no way I say that.
You don't say what?
That I recorded because
the minister asked that I consider these threats as a serious threat and consider recording my conversation?
Yes, that's what happened, but there's nowhere I say when I recorded, I considered that idea of the minister. There's no way I say that.
You are, well, now you're playing with words, but you're saying that the minister gave you the idea to consider it.
That's what he did, yes.
But
By the time
now
I
you've
recorded,
changed it. But let's just agree that you've changed it now, because you make it out like this was only your idea and the minister did not ask you to consider doing
I
it.
never changed it. Why it does not appear on my supplemental? It's because we reiterated that we are not going to repeat what has been said. I can only write in the supplemental what I need to supplement.
You shift in your supplementary. You shift from the minister asked or recommended to it was just you. Let's leave and move on to, let's leave that, and we've noted that. Are you still an ANC member?
Have I ever said I'm an ANC member? If you say
It's the wrong question. Are you an ANC member?
No, I'm not in politics.
I asked if you're an ANC, so you're not. You can be a member and not be necessarily active in politics.
No, I'm not a member of any party.
Are you? I'm asking about the ANC. Yes or no?
No.
Okay, thank you. Let's move like that. Let's talk about the Minister Kuno's iPitch case in 2017. What were your findings? Can you just summarize? Because you were assigned to that case.
My findings was that there were no reasonable, valid reason to reopen a case which was declined 5 years ago.
Did you also say that the hawks were being used to interfere in political matters in your findings?
The hawks were used. Yes, I said that.
Did you share this information with Minister? Did you share the information with the minister?
Yes.
About these political matters or?
No, I shared to him that my findings is that there are no valid reason to reopen the case.
I'm talking particularly about that there's been political interference.
No.
No. What was the political interference?
No, that what during my interviews, that's what I told, that it's a political pressure. That's what they were.
Who is giving the political pressure?
No, I never got the name.
So you closed the case or you concluded on a case without having a name of anybody on who was doing that?
I never closed the case. The case, remained with them, yeah.
Okay, but your findings, you gave those findings, but you didn't know who the person was.
Yes.
That was doing the political pressure.
When you investigate a case, you deal with the crux of the matter. Was there a valid reason to reopen a case or not? That was my findings. There's no valid reason. Then my recommendations, this is the route you must take if you want to properly reopen a case.
Okay, so you're saying that you there was no valid reason to reopen the case because, and you based it on because of political pressure. You said not interference. I think your initial statement says interference. It doesn't say pressure, which is two different things, I guess. But let's go with the pressure, right? What was the political pressure? Because if you can conclude like that, there has to be who, how, what was the political pressure? Where was it coming from? Who is the political figure that was involved?
No, I never got into that extent.
So you think you did a thorough job on the case?
Yes, a thorough job was the case needs
without
to be...
knowing who was doing the political pressure, you did a thorough job. Without knowing who was involved, who was putting the political pressure on. You're not even saying I can't say who it is. You did a thorough job without the knowledge of who is the person or the persons involved.
The name was not given. The name was not given.
And you didn't ask. And then you believed it. You didn't even interview that person.
I would not interview the person because I didn't know who it was.
And you didn't ask. And that's a thorough job.
No, the name was not given.
Yeah, you said that, I'm saying, and you didn't ask, because given and saying I asked for the name and they refused to give me the name. It's two different
No,
things.
yes, it did not give me the name.
Because you didn't ask for the name.
I wanted to verify who are those people giving you pressure. Then they could not give me the name.
Let's talk about IDEC. Do you think IDEC has been used in the same manner that perhaps IPID was used in the minister's case?
No, I can't say because I can't prove it. And I never encounter.
You haven't encountered anything. So the minister asking you to refer a case to IDEC for the first time, as you had given in your statement earlier, you didn't think that that might be more or less the same script as perhaps?
No, I see it like it's an appropriate body in that circumstances.
All right. Your favorable findings in the IPID investigation for 2017, were you offered any money, donations
Nothing.
in kind? When the matter was closed, did you receive anything nice, a holiday?
No, the matter was not closed.
Oh, okay, wrong word, not closed. But when you submitted your findings?
No.
There was nothing?
No, it was just part of my job.
Oh, okay, nice one. And then how many other matters did you investigate while you were investigator at IPID? More or less?
We've investigated a lot of cases and most of high profile cases.
Okay.
And
just more or less how many?
There are so many, and there are so many people.
Like over 50, under 50, like
over
just
100.
in particular, over 100.
Over 100.
How many of those that you've investigated have you maintained a relationship with?
What do you mean?
So you've investigated this case, right, that involved the minister, and you've maintained your relationship with him since then to a point where you and Lieutenant General can just stop by his place and chill for tea, coffee, beer, whatever it is that you were doing. So I'm just asking in context of the over 100 cases that you were. Or you've maintained relationships?
Yes, there are so many.
Maybe just give us one or two names where you've maintained a relationship to that extent.
No, there are so many. Even
But
others,
so many is not giving
they
us.
don't even know. They think I'm still with IPID. They're still in contact with me. I'm still in contact with them.
You're not going to tell us, like more or less out of 10, 20, can you give us some names?
It's people you don't know in Durban.
It doesn't matter that we don't know. We are here and we
The Ngobo family in Tuzuma.
Hmm?
Ngobo family in Tuzuma. They even invited me when they had an unveiling tombstone.
And you can also just stop by at their places. So if you are in the hood.
Yeah, but they are not the same as a figure, like a former premier.
Okay.
Like if I can get your number,
okay,
it won't be the same like any other people. I'll say I'm having a
So
mandate
he was
number.
the only high profile, because just before you said you interviewed or you were part of investigations of many high profile people. So I'm just asking, the ministers on that level of high profile, so I was hoping that you could give examples of other high profile people that you were part of investigations.
As
that
complainant.
you that, and then eventually they appoint you like perhaps as chief of staff or something.
No.
So your appointment as chief of staff had nothing to do with your favorable findings in the minister's
It has
case?
nothing to do because I left IPID 2018, and I'm already having this relationship with the minister. He's been in a 2 other portfolio already. He has never appointed me, and we have never even spoke about me looking for the job. Because even when he nominated me here, I was working. I had to resign.
Your let's move on to, my laptop is just keep moving up and down. It's just jumping. It must be your lucky day because now I'm going to miss some questions that I need to ask you. As far as you know, was the minister preparing to contest the ANC presidency or any positions in the ANC?
No, I don't know. He has never spoken to me about that.
Okay. Who was with you when you recorded the conversation with Lieutenant General Konasi?
I was alone.
Okay. Have you had any engagements with Sabia, Lieutenant General Sabia?
Not at all.
Ever worked with him at all?
No.
Any engagements? And then what about Brian Pariachi?
No, I never also worked with him. I know the name now.
Where you said you were employed in between May 2029 and August 2021 with Secure Asset.
Yes.
A Secure Assist.
Yes.
Did anybody who you are with at the moment, the Minister General Konasi, assist you in getting that position?
There's anyone who?
Assisted or facilitated for you to be appointed in that position?
General Mkhonazi assisted.
Oh, he assisted you.
Yes.
Who are the directors, or do you know who were the directors of the company at that time when you were appointed?
No, I'll elect not to dwell much on the private company matter. It will be very unfair to drag their names here.
Okay. Do any of them have contracts with government, or did the company have contracts with government?
Not at all.
Okay. Outside of Paul O'Sullivan obstructing you from getting positions and his role, as you have indicated in your complaint to former Minister Bekitele about setting up a whole project or operation with very high-ranking officials within our justice system. Have you had any other engagements with him?
With who?
With Paul O'Sullivan?
No, not at all.
So when you were part of that operation, what was your Damascus moment where you thought, I need to leave this?
No, after I realized what we are doing, because I thought we are doing the job. After I realized, then I wanted to leave it.
What job did you think you were doing?
Our job as IPID, investigating crime.
And then on this particular operation, when you initially, what did you think you in particular was the operations for this particular job? Like, who were you investigating, or what was the investigation?
We were investigating General Pashane.
Okay.
So I thought we are chasing the crime. Up until I see this too much involvement of Paul O'Sullivan as a leading us. Then I started to realize that no, something is not right.
So that was your Damascus moment?
Yes.
So you were not actively involved in the faction. You only realized afterward that this was a faction. And then did you speak to anybody else about it before you went and you wrote the letter to the former minister? You just went ahead and said that, no, this is a factional arrangement and I'm leaving.
Yes.
You are now, looks like we have the same vibe happening there in SAPS, well, pretty much in the justice system of factions operating. Are you also having a moment?
I also have.
Are you also having another Damascus moment of exposing a faction?
No, I'm not in that.
You were not involved in any factions at the moment. You were just doing your job there as a chief of staff.
Yes.
You and your buddy, Lieutenant General Konasi, had your things on the side and you weren't involved.
Yes.
In any untoward things that were going on.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, sir.